Have you ever walked past a home and felt inexplicably drawn to the front garden? Stopped in your tracks by color, texture, or simply the way it made you feel? That's not an accident. Today, we're unlocking the simple, beautiful secret behind those kinds of gardens. And it's more achievable than you think. Welcome to Home and Garden Borneo, where real gardens meet real life. In this video, we'll explore shrub combinations that elevate the front of your home, using color, contrast, and natural harmony that you can truly recreate. Whether you're planning a small container garden or a full entryway refresh, this guide is made for you. Timestamps are provided, so feel free to jump to the sections you need most. And if you'd love a step-by-step DIY tutorial on any of the combinations, drop a comment below. I'll post exclusive tutorials in the community tab just for you. Welcome to Home and Garden Borneo, where we explore grounded, achievable design ideas for real homes and real people. Today, we're diving into shrub combinations to plant in front of your home. Pairings that balance color, texture, and form to elevate your curb appeal with intention and beauty. This video includes timestamps, so feel free to skip ahead to any section that inspires you most. And if there's a specific look you'd like turned into a DIY tutorial, just leave a comment below. I'll be posting step-by-step guides in the community tab just for you. To you, this might just be another garden video, but behind this screen, there's a quiet dream taking root. Every view, every kind word, every subscriber, it makes a real difference. Not just to a channel, but to a small family trying to build something meaningful. You're not just pressing a button. You're keeping creativity alive. You're making space for beauty, hope, and growth right here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing in the quiet things. Step outside on a quiet morning, and the first thing to greet your senses is color. Not loud or overwhelming, but gently alive. The soft golden sphere of an evergreen shrub, shaped like a careful breath, sits beside a cascade of velvety purple leaves. This is not a scene from a glossy garden catalog. It's real. It's imperfect in the best way. The kind of garden you can create with your own hands and a few quiet hours. In today's video, I want to share a simple yet charming idea. A container garden designed for the front entryway. A space where you can plant not just shrubs, but a mood. Here we've used the Fire Chief arborvitae, compact and evergreen, radiating warmth with its sun-kissed foliage. Next to it, the Lauropetalum, deep, moody, and rich, sometimes almost black, which erupts in playful pink blooms during the spring. Together, they dance. The contrast is soft but confident, like a good conversation between old friends. As light pours over the leaves, you'll notice textures and shadows that change by the hour. That's part of the magic. You won't find high-gloss editing or impossible perfection here. Just a pairing of plants that truly works, visually, practically, and emotionally. Please know, I'm not a landscape architect, and this isn't a blueprint. What I offer are ideas, real ones, that you can tweak, build upon, or take in a completely different direction. If you've got a sunny spot near your front door, a few pots, and a weekend, you're already halfway there. The best thing about container gardens is their flexibility. You don't need a massive budget or years of experience. You just need a little imagination and a willingness to try. Let the photos in this video guide you, not as instructions but as invitations. They're snapshots of possibilities, gardens that breathe, evolve, and reflect your personality. So take a look. Imagine these pots on your patio. Listen to how the colors speak to each other. And perhaps, in your own time, create your own version, not as a copy, but as an echo of something beautiful and entirely yours. There's something deeply calming about contrast, when opposites come together not to compete, but to complement. It's what makes harmony feel whole. In this quiet corner of a garden, a simple yet elegant pairing captures the eye and soothes the spirit. A compact, evergreen globe of Danica arborvitae rests at the feet of a vibrant wall of Obsession nandina, its red-tinted leaves flickering like embers against a green flame. This setup isn't complex. It doesn't require design software or a professional landscaper's touch. Just two shrubs, placed with care, speaking to each other in color and form. The green is dense and grounded, while the red dances just behind it. Soft, airy, and full of life. If you look closely at these images, you'll notice the subtle realities of the garden. The shadows are uneven. The soil isn't swept clean. There's a leaf or two resting where it naturally fell. This is how a real garden lives and breathes, unpolished and beautifully sincere. Now, I'm not claiming this as a definitive method. Consider it a suggestion, a visual whisper, something you can try or reshape entirely to fit your own space, budget, or sunlight. What I share here is simply an idea, rooted in experience and observation, intended to inspire more than instruct. What I love about this combination is how well it works in small spaces. Whether on a porch, along a walkway, or in a modest patio bed, it creates a layered look, petite in scale, yet generous in presence. And if you're wondering, yes, you can do this. You don't need rare plants or specialized soil. These shrubs are forgiving. They grow slowly, stay neat, and ask only for light and a little time. Let these visuals be your reference, not your rulebook. Take what feels right and leave the rest. Gardening is as much about intuition as it is about technique. So when the day is quiet and your hands are free, maybe you'll gather a pot, a bag of soil, and one or two humble shrubs. And in your own way, craft something that welcomes you home every time you pass by. Sometimes, the most powerful gardens are built not from abundance, but from restraint. Two colors, two forms, one perfect balance. Here, we explore a composition that feels both daring and peaceful. A contrast of ice and fire, blue and gold, stillness and brilliance. The silvery texture of the blue star juniper rests low, cool, and quietly assertive. Beside it, the round and radiant Anna's magic ball arborvitae glows like a captured sun. You don't need a grand backyard or complicated layout to make this work. A simple pot, a bit of time, and a place where light meets form, that's enough. What you see in these images is very real. The chipped rim of an old container. Leaves fallen from yesterday's breeze. Even the unevenness of the soil speaks of authenticity, of a garden that's lived in, not staged. This video isn't a tutorial in the strictest sense. It's a window, a suggestion. I'm not claiming these combinations as the only way or even the best. I simply want to show you what's possible, what's tangible. If you wish to bring life into a quiet corner with contrast as your brushstroke. When you pair plants like this, you're playing with light. The gold brightens in full sun, while the blue cools the scene, keeping it grounded. Neither overpowers. Instead, they uplift each other. The result feels artistic but absolutely doable. If you're new to planting or limited by space, let this pairing serve as a place to begin. It's low maintenance. It thrives in sun. It forgives inconsistency. You won't need exotic tools or professional landscaping skills. Just your hands, a container, and curiosity. Let your version be imperfect. Let the leaves scatter. Let the plants grow a little wild. In that space between planning and letting go, your garden will become not just a decoration, but a reflection of your pace, your preferences, and your peace. In every garden, there's a corner that craves joy, a place where colors don't whisper but sing. Here in this collection of containers, color has no hesitation. The vibrant glow of sunshine ligustrum, nearly neon in the right light, reaches upward like a golden flame. Beneath it, the variegated foliage of Loropetalum, touched with pink, cream, and green, cascades freely, softening the arrangement with whimsy and rhythm. What you see here isn't a showpiece from a design magazine. It's a living combination, achievable with just a bit of sunlight, patience, and curiosity. These kinds of arrangements don't ask for perfection. They only ask for presence, your attention, your choice of pot, your willingness to try. And that's exactly what I hope this video offers. Not a blueprint, but a doorway. An idea you can walk through, adapt, and make your own. These aren't exotic plants from distant climates. They're selections chosen because they grow well, pair well, and continue to look radiant through the seasons. You might notice a few leaf edges slightly curled from wind, or petals that have fallen like confetti on the soil. Those little imperfections remind us that this is real, that gardening is a process, not a presentation. And most importantly, it's something you can absolutely do yourself. This vibrant container garden isn't about symmetry. It's about movement. The layers rise and fall like a quiet conversation between color and light. Pink meets yellow, soft meets sharp, and the viewer is caught in between, not overwhelmed, but delighted. Let this visual be your seed. Plant it in your own container, in your own space, in your own style. Whether you're filling a corner of your patio or brightening a front porch, remember, it doesn't take many plants to make a powerful impact, just the right ones. And just a reminder, what I'm showing you today isn't a strict guide. It's a collection of possibilities. Ideas that are meant to be copied, adapted, reimagined. Because the best gardens are never about rules. They're about what brings you joy. Some gardens are bold, others are dramatic. But once in a while, a quiet pairing says more than any statement could. Here, nestled in the curve of a clay pot or settled beside a sunlit railing, we find a small miracle, a marriage of light and scent. The golden globe arborvitae glows like a captured sunrise, its finely textured foliage forming a warm, rounded shape. Next to it, the jubilation gardenia, polished and deep green, offers white blossoms that bloom like soft sighs. It doesn't need much. A little sun, a little water, and a moment to place them close enough that their differences become their strength. The brightness of the arborvitae lifts the spirit. The fragrance of the gardenia calms the mind. You might be looking at this and wondering, could I do that? Could I make this work on my balcony, in front of my door, or on that lonely ledge beside my walkway? My answer, not as an expert, but as a fellow admirer of small, real beauty, is yes. Yes, you can. Everything I share here is offered in that spirit, not as a master plan, but as a gentle idea. A spark you can carry home and shape with your own hands, your own pots, your own light. And if it doesn't look perfect, that's even better. Perfection has no scent, no softness, no surprise. But this combination, golden and green, round and reaching, clean and fragrant, is alive. In these photos, you'll notice tiny specks of soil, imperfect textures, a tilt in the bloom, or perhaps a stray petal where it wasn't planned. That's the gift of a garden. It's not to be arranged, but invited, to live, to lean, to surprise you. Let this be your nudge. Not an instruction, but an encouragement. If your hands are ready, your porch is waiting. Beauty can be simple. Fragrance can be planted. And joy, even the quiet kind, is always just a few leaves away. Not every garden asks for sunlight. Some thrive in shadow, glowing gently, as if whispering instead of shouting. In a quiet corner where the day moves slowly, these shrubs come to life not with brightness, but with balance. The banana peel alyssum offers broad, buttery yellow leaves, soft and waxy to the touch, luminous even under a canopy. Beside it, the mountain fire pairings holds a deeper tone, its evergreen base accented with flame-colored new growth, like autumn caught mid-breath. These combinations are not bold statements, they're invitations. They say, you don't need a perfect yard or ideal conditions. Even in shaded spots, where light filters through leaves or bounces off brick, you can create warmth. You might see a bit of uneven soil or a fallen twig between leaves. These details are real. And honestly, that's what makes them beautiful. These aren't styled arrangements meant only for show. They're meant to be lived with, planted by hand, watered in quiet moments, and enjoyed without perfection. If this scene feels possible to you, that's because it is. What I share in this video is not expert landscaping, but something more accessible. Ideas grounded in practicality and love for simple beauty. These are suggestions I believe anyone could adapt, with patience and a bit of curiosity. In a shady garden bed, or nestled in containers beside a covered porch, this fire and gold pairing offers dimension, life, and surprise. The textures play gently with light, the gold drawing the eye, the red pulling it in. Together, they create comfort, the kind that doesn't try too hard. Let this combination remind you that a garden doesn't need to be grand to be meaningful. Even a small patch of soil can hold great intention. So if you have a cool, overlooked corner, let it become something more. Not for show, but for stillness. For those quiet pauses when beauty feels best when it's simple, shaded, and your own. There is a kind of calm that doesn't beg for attention. It simply exists. A quiet presence you feel when you step outside with your coffee and the world hasn't quite woken up yet. That's the magic this garden captures. The Mr. Bowling Ball arborvitae, with its soft blue-green foliage, compact and round like nature's whisper, stands beside the deep, glowing blooms of royalty encore azalea. The combination isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. One brings coolness, the other color. Together, they bring balance. And that's all some spaces really need. Not grand design, but harmony. The beauty of this pairing isn't just visual. It's emotional. The texture of the arborvitae feels gentle to the eye, especially when the light hits it sideways in the morning. The azalea, with petals fluttering down onto the soil below, offers moments of surprise. Not every bloom lands perfectly, and that's part of what makes the scene real. I must remind you, softly and sincerely, these ideas are simply here to inspire. They're not meant to dictate what your garden must be, but to show what could be done, in a way that's realistic, doable, and deeply personal. Some viewers might see these arrangements and think, I couldn't do that. But you can. You don't need perfection, just a few good plants, a bit of patience, and time spent tending. The contrast of blue-green tones with purples or pinks creates a soothing palette that doesn't overwhelm. It invites. It comforts. As you watch this, imagine the breeze brushing over those mounded forms. The way the blooms might bob ever so slightly in the wind. The fallen petals? Leave them. They tell a better story than a swept surface ever could. In a world that's always rushing, these little pockets of planted calm remind us to slow down. And maybe that's the real goal of any garden, not to impress, but to restore. There's something quietly enchanting about arriving home and being greeted by a pot brimming with color and life. In this charming arrangement, a fire chief arborvitae unfurls its soft, golden-orange foliage like a gentle flame, while the charm lauropetalum beside it deepens the palette with velvety dark leaves and vivid pink blooms that catch the morning sun just right. The combination dances between structure and wildness, controlled enough for a neat container, but expressive enough to feel alive. It's a garden moment that feels carefully considered yet completely approachable. Many viewers often ask, can I make this myself? The answer is yes. This video is simply a collection of ideas I find truly doable at home. Little inspirations that I hope spark your own creativity. No cinematic filters here, no hidden tricks. Just plants, pots, and possibility. Place this combo on your front step, or nestle it into the edge of your porch. It doesn't demand much, but it gives so much in return. With very little maintenance, this pairing brings seasonal shifts in tone and texture, offering an ever-evolving welcome home. Tucked quietly near the edge of a stone patio or nestled beside a garden bench, this petite pairing whispers rather than shouts. The vivid red-tinged leaves of Obsession Nandina rise like a soft flame, gently contrasting the deep emerald mound of Danica arborvitae, its shape tight and tidy like a living sculpture. It's a scene best admired in soft sunlight, when shadows stretch long and quiet. The foliage layers itself gracefully, with no need for blooms, just texture, color, and the occasional rustle of wind. Sometimes the most memorable combinations are the simplest ones, built not on drama but harmony. I'm not a professional landscaper, just someone who believes beautiful garden moments should feel real and replicable. Everything you see here is meant to spark joy and say, you could do this too. This container setup thrives in partial sun and remains graceful even as seasons shift. It's a small composition, but it brings a certain serenity to the day, the kind of detail guests pause to admire, and gardeners return to again and again with quiet pride. Sculpted greens and glowing gold. There's a quiet rhythm to well-shaped evergreens, the kind that hold their form like garden sculptures, unwavering through sun, wind, or frost. In this corner, we see a garden where form meets glow, where texture and tone are the true storytellers. Set in a rustic stone container or grounded directly in earth, the soft, spherical masses of Cryptomeria globosa nana take center stage. Their fine, thread-like needles, fresh and tactile, offer a lush, living cushion that feels like the garden's heartbeat, steady, calm, and deeply grounding. Beside them, the golden glow of a compact, lemon-lime toned shrub plays a brighter note. Perhaps it's a sunshine ligustrum or a yellow spirea. Whatever the species, its role is clear: to lift the spirit and catch the eye. It brightens cloudy mornings and adds fire to late afternoon sun. Placed together, they bring both movement and stillness, balance and surprise. This kind of pairing doesn't require a massive yard or landscape budget. It's a simple, achievable composition that's more about intention than complexity. Whether planted in oversized pots on the patio or nestled along a curved garden bed by the front walkway, it works. It always works. Just a gentle reminder, these scenes are here to inspire you. I'm not presenting strict rules, but ideas you can freely adapt and make your own. Let your garden reflect your own pace and creativity. What makes this arrangement special is how the golden tones gently amplify the texture of the greens, not competing, but enhancing. In real light, without edits or gloss, the visual harmony is even more soothing. The soft imperfections, an uneven soil edge, a shadow that dances through leaves, a stray petal on the mulch, all whisper of a garden that's alive, not staged. And isn't that what we're all searching for in a front garden? Not perfection, but presence. A gentle breeze stirs the afternoon air, carrying with it the soft flutter of butterfly wings. In a quiet corner of a backyard or a modest patio, a charming container arrangement sits like a living magnet for pollinators. This small yet spirited garden design captures both motion and stillness, vibrance and calm, all at once. At its heart is the Pugster blue butterfly bush, its clusters of blue blooms arching outward like invitations. The flowers are rich in hue, deep but soft, their fragrance drifting through the air and pulling in butterflies like an old song pulls in memories. The shape of the shrub, slightly unruly but endearingly wild, gives the planting character, a gentle reminder that not all beauty lies in symmetry. Surrounding the bush, lemon-lime nandina provides a steady, luminous contrast. Its foliage doesn't shout, but glows instead, a chartreuse yellow that looks lit from within. The leaves, small and elegant, shift with the breeze, offering a soft rustling sound that deepens the sensory experience of the garden. This kind of combination works not only because of its color harmony, but because of its adaptability. The compact size of both shrubs makes them ideal for containers or tight urban spaces. A setup like this can easily fit near a front step, along a porch, or even next to a garden bench. It's accessible, it's achievable, and yes, this is just one of many ideas I'm sharing here. An inspiring suggestion you can easily tailor and replicate at home without needing a landscape architect. There is a certain poetry in watching blue flowers dance above golden leaves. This pairing captures a moment of peaceful rhythm between color, texture, and life. And with each passing butterfly, it becomes clear, sometimes, the smallest garden corners hold the most enchantment. Wouldn't you agree?